taking flight. Lions talk alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good evening. It is the NFL Roundtable Talks. We're going live into Twitter, the Huddle Sports app on your TV and on Amazon and Roku. What is that? Fire Stick, they call the Amazon stuff? Yeah.
Yep.
Twitter and Facebook. And of course,
Yep.
Jamie, if you want to add Driving to the Chops YouTube, you can.
I'll do that, sure.
That way we get some more interaction. What the heck?
I would do it on mine, but I think my people are too busy watching combat content.
So after he adds that, we are going to add our first topic in. Shadookie Sanders, as I named him in the draft, after he dropped to the 5th round, is the 4th best quarterback. Oh, we got Dom in the house, a dirty Dom, and Ken Dobie.
Hey,
what's up,
Ken,
brother?
Scoot over.
No, he's fine right where he's at. We got Stephen Bauer and Emily Hills in there saying she's happy to be here. Good to see you, Emily. Good to see you, Stephen. Good to see you. It's great to be here talking football. But Shadookie Sanders is the 4th best quarterback according to the Browns' early depth chart. What do you think about that there, Ken?
Hey, so I hear a rumor that their roster is going to be Myles Garrett and 52 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, because they just signed Tyler Huntley, didn't they?
Yep.
It's like,
And here's the great part. It's Joe Flacid, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Huntley, Shadookie Sanders, in that order on the depth chart.
Tyler Huntley's actually not that bad, though.
I know, but I think it's funny that he got the number 3 and he hasn't played it down in practice yet.
They're like an episode of Hey Mon. Remember that from In Living Color? Except it's a quarterback edition.
Hey, what's going on in Cleveland?
Yeah, let it go. It's fun. Hey, it's fun.
No. That wasn't it.
Oh, we got Smoking Dad in the building. Too bad I don't have my soundboard.
Everyone do it anyways.
Yeah, close enough.
I mean, hey, I heard that Smoking Dad might be getting a contract to be a play quarterback for the Browns too while they're at it.
Yeah, and you know, we got the BCP Daniel Jones there next to you. Will Vogel could get in.
I mean, I've been told, and I fully believe, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. So what does it mean when you have
6?
6.
Wait, did you guys
You're just the
hear
Cleveland
that?
Browns.
Wait. Did you guys hear that? I heard the Browns are signing Uncle Rico and Shane Falco over Shador Sanders as well.
Look,
Uncle Rico's Kyle Orton.
Don't be talking bad about Neckbeard. You do not besmirch Neckbeard. No, Neckbeard's awesome. I love his inscriptions.
We're talking about neckbeards.
Yeah. You know, do not besmirch the Neckbeard. That man is awesome. No, but you know, all these jokes with Uncle Rico, blah blah blah. Look it. Let's be honest for a second as we make fun of the Cleveland Browns. Everyone coming in the draft like, oh, Shador's going number 2. Shador's going number 2. Cleveland says, yeah, you know what? Hold my Mountain Dew, hold my beer, whatever it is you got. We're going to trade that pick away. If you're like, oh my God, you're crazy. They get this haul, right? Then they go and get Shador in the 5th round. This is the guy that everyone was going to say was going to be the number 2 overall pick. So now think of it this way. If Shador is a complete bust, who cares? He was a 5th rounder. It doesn't matter. If Shador becomes the franchise, that becomes the best trade in NFL history.
Right, exactly.
Here's the thing about Shador. Like, forget about his last name and his father. Based upon his college stats and his win-loss record as a college quarterback, he went about where you should go.
Right. He was 13-12.
Yeah.
in the Big 12 Pac-4, whatever that was.
So, I agree with Dom. Like, you're barely over 500 as a quarterback in college, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's going first round." JB and I've talked for months, and a bunch of us. Did I think he was going first round? I thought at furthest he was going to go third or fourth. The guy is overrated, and I don't like his attitude. He's supposedly going to be starting against the Panthers in the preseason game, so I hope he gets demolished. But you know
Wow,
what?
don't wish injury upon a man.
I'm not wishing injury. I'm just saying I hope we demolish, like beat it, like sack him a few times.
Listen to what you just said. It's against the Panthers, bro. That's why.
But Vogel, he's the only guy in the draft who's had his jersey retired at his college.
But you know what?
Yeah, that's because of his dad, not because he was.
Dad also has a porta potty on the sidelines for next year.
I'm almost done, guys. One sec. I was never sold on him going into the NFL. I even liked Gabriel ahead of him, and I loved Gabriel in college. Like, yeah, he wasn't amazing, but he was better than Shador. So, am I surprised? No, because guess what? You're just not that good, Shador.
I'm just hoping that this nickname sticks as good as Caleb's nickname now last year, where I've heard it on podcasts, not even in the Huddle Sports Network, because LGBTQB1 still sticks.
Yes, it does.
I like Shaboozy Sanders. Everybody with the Browns getting tipsy.
No, Jamie. If he was pulled over,
Ken, I seen some highlights from Browns practice, and I see Caleb's in mid-season form throwing tantrums and interceptions.
Yeah, did you see what I just said in the group? Yeah.
So it's funny though that the video you're talking about, Mike. I thought too, like it was a pass drill with the Nets, and it was terrible. I mean, he's like all pissed off. What they don't show you is the very next set of reps he did. Every single ball was a laser dime.
I know that.
But
so here's my question, though. And JB, look at you guys. We know the way the media crawls up everything's butt at camp. Oh my God, so and so's shoelaces were tied differently. It now means this. It means that. I'm wondering how much sometimes, like with this Caleb thing with the net drill here, we're like, let's just fuck with the media. Let's just go out there. I'm just go out there and just flail about and then act all pissed off. And that's going to be what they report, because they're not going to report what happened next.
So I wanted to tell Jamie real quick. Jamie, if it was Shaboozy Sanders, he'd be pulled over for drinking and driving.
Like Jordan Addison.
Exactly.
Which leads to our next topic.
But hey, Ken, I don't think that really has a lot of water to hold, because Caleb is too much of an egotistical person to where he wants people to know that he's doing good.
But I mean, every NFL player is that, but they also are pranksters and jokesters, and you hear about some of the stuff that these guys pull. I mean, first off, it's preseason. I don't put much in camp. I don't put much stock in any of these reports about that kind of stuff at camp. For me, it's like, okay, I wait till week one to see what my team is somewhat, and then what they're becoming. Camp and practices can be indicators of certain things, yes, but I don't like bet the farm. Because if I bet the farm, then Mapletron should be the best wide receiver in the NFL from 2 years ago at camp. He was the best wide receiver ever, and I should have put money at Vegas, and I'd be a multimillionaire, not needing my pension to survive. You know what I mean? So for me,
I put 100, he'd fail.
Yeah, you would have won money on that.
You should have bet the Buccaneers in the wild card round 2 years ago against the Eagles.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to this camp stuff, I don't put too much into it. It's but
we've seen it over the last 3 seasons since they've been doing this, 17 games and 3 preseason games. The first 2 games have really been like preseason games for the starters because they don't play all year. The teams that come out hot right away and do something are the ones that actually play their starters. Who has it been consistently playing their starters the last 3 years? Oh, it's one team, the Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean,
so there's something to be said with Andy Reid being old school and doing it that way.
and here's the thing too: when you look at the offense and the defense of your team in these preseason games, guys, I hate to break it to you, they're not playing their scheme. It's all plain Jane vanilla crap. They're not showing any of the good looks. They're showing the most plain Jane base version of the offense and defense they can get away with in the preseason. So when guys come out, if you've seen our defense, it's going to be smoking. Look how good it was in the preseason.
Right. Like the Bears the last 2 years being undefeated in the preseason. That's done them so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
again,
80%
of them guys on the preseason roster aren't going to be on the team week 1.
The Lions way. That's the Bears.
Yes.
Look at the Browns were 4-0 in the preseason. Think about it. The Browns went 4-0 in the preseason and then 0-16 in the regular season.
So did the Lions.
The Lions. So did the Lions.
Yeah.
2008 preseason champs.
Yep. 2008 regular season duds.
I'm not too worried about some of these camp stories I'm seeing or overly encouraged by them either. I take them both with a grain of salt. Right now for the Bears, hoping for the best. As always, though, planning for the worst. And I've got my questions.
The only thing you find out from the preseason that's actually worthwhile or relevant is how shitty are your 2s and 3s.
Yep.
Against other teams' 2s and 3s.
Yep.
So, Jamie, what do you think about Shadookie Sanders?
Shadookie. I think he may turn out. I think he could turn out to be a good starter. But like I said, I think he should start this first preseason game. They're putting their faith in him and things like that, and see what he's got. And plus, like Ken said, they didn't take him number 2. They took him in the 4th or 5th round, in the 5th round. So
because they knew. Hey, and here's the other thing. I said something before the draft. I said with his dad being his agent, until his dad is fired, nobody was going to draft him. What happened just before day 3?
Fired his dad.
He fired his dad.
Did you hear?
And they still didn't take him in the. And they still didn't take him in the first round of day 3.
And so
was Dion officially his agent, or he just had hired one?
No, Dion was officially his agent.
So I just read that he also just said, I don't want my dad even at any of my practices.
Well, yeah, he's got to separate himself because think about it. Here's the other rub on Shador,
Yes, I know that,
JB's heard me say this a lot, right? Is his high school coach, Dion, his college coach at both colleges, Dion, then his agent, Dion, until firing. Then Dion goes and retires his college jersey because he was 13 and 12 or 12 and 13, whichever one it is. So if I'm Shadookie, I want to create as much separation between myself and my dad as humanly possible and become my own man and maybe get a fair shot in Cleveland. Because even if Dion shows up, dude, that's enough for them to be like, you know what, we don't need this noise.
But here's a simple fact about it. Him and his dad have one thing in common. They're both going to piss the bed this year.
So I have a question for JB real quick.
Can we get through this one topic and then we'll do questions?
Not included in those 6 is Deshaun Watson, right?
No, that's included in the 6.
Oh,
he's just on the IR till midseason.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's the one who's laughing because he's fully guaranteed.
No, you didn't hear that. They restructured him. He is not fully guaranteed anymore.
Nope.
And welcome to the stage, main event Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. We're talking about Shadookie Sanders. Austin and Megan's going to give their little spiel about it. What do you think about him being the 4th best QB on their depth chart?
Sounds about right for where he went and the talent level that he showed in college. But I guess, I mean, this first preseason game against the Panthers is going to show the Browns pretty much what they believe in him, or how much, like, you know, is his opportunity to show him that he deserves to be further up in the depth chart. But for right now, I think he's where he needs to be. And like everyone else said, if he winds up being the next Tom Brady, then the Browns look like geniuses getting him in the 5th round. If he winds up being the next Johnny Manziel, then no harm, no foul. He got win in the 5th.
Mike Johnson.
Take it easy on Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. No.
You ever tried being sober in Cleveland?
Mike's turn.
No, you're good, man. I'm only here for a short time. I appreciate the opportunity. I think they're going to give him this one shot, to go out and either make it or break it. I don't think that he's NFL worthy. I think that Shadookie is going to end up on the practice squad, and it's going to be sooner than later. He's overrated. He played in the Big 12. He had a horseshit record, and the only thing that made him look good was Travis. And that's all I got to say. And anybody wants to disagree, but he's a mediocre quarterback at best. Gabriel in Oregon had a way better career. He had way better passing percentage. He had more yards. He's a more, defined quarterback. I think it's going to be Joe Flacco, number 1. I think it's going to be Gabriel, number 2. And what's the other one?
Huntley. Pickett.
No, I think Kenny Pickett will be number 3. And the rest of them are going to practice squad.
Right now, they got Kenny Pickett listed as behind Shadookie Sanders. That's how bad he's been at camp.
Oh, my God.
He's been hurt, too.
Yeah.
Hey,
I just don't see him putting a lot of stock in him. I think this preseason start is, going to be the safe face, just for a draft pick. And he's going to go out there and either shine or be dull.
Hey, Michael, wouldn't it be funny if Shadookie, like you said, ends up on the practice squad and he'd be the first guy, I think probably in NCAA history, would have his jersey retired in college and not even make an NFL roster?
Yeah. All right, Dean Event Mike, it is your turn to speak.
I need just a second.
Okay, no problem.
You got to get that wild beard in check.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, what was your question for me?
I got to find the cord.
I hate when that happens. When my cord gets stuck somewhere.
JB, any chance you think he gets cut?
No. I don't think he'll be cut. At worst, what'll happen is he'll be waived and come back to the practice squad. That's worst case scenario. And I don't think anybody out there wants him.
Yeah,
with what they've heard in camp.
So, JB, you know what I recommend? I think he should go to the school of Nate Sudfeld Clipboard Holding.
Yeah, because then he can learn that proper glare angle for Flacco.
Exactly. Great minds think alike. See, guys, JB and I have some. He does.
But anyways, my personal opinion is Shadookie will be Shadookie.
Shadookie.
He wasn't shit in college. He won't be shit in the NFL. Anyways, main event Mike.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not so sure I agree with that. You listen to this Mary Kay Cabot. She's the official Browns reporter. And the reports out of Cleveland are that Dylan Gabriel is the one that's struggling. Okay. And no matter how good you were in college, whatever, you're not going to be any taller than 5'10", period. The fact that they put a 3rd round pick for Gabriel Dylan Gabriel is going to give him a leg up in staying in the competition, even if he falters. But still, Shedeur Sanders has been looking good, is what they're saying out of training camp. I don't know why we call him Shadookie. Kid's got skills. I mean, he was 13-12 in college.
You did not just try to use his record as a plus.
That's great. He's laughing about it. That was a King of Sting moment right there.
Okay.
Sarcasm. I didn't want you guys to have to dodge it.
Mike, I like the beard.
All right. So my second topic, Jordan Addison is suspended for 3 games. He'll probably appeal it, but I don't think he'll win it.
No,
he said before this happened that he would not appeal.
Oh, wow. All right, main event, Mike. How do you feel about this?
What was it? DUI?
Yeah,
Yes.
driving under the influence.
Actually, his second driving related. He was also
his charge
his
was
rookie before he was even
against the
had his
NFL
first day of
substance
training camp. He had a speeding ticket for doing 115. So I mean, I don't know, same old, same old.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, for clarification, it wasn't okay. So let me clarify for those who don't know the full story. He was found sitting in his car, keys in ignition on the entrance ramp to LAX, not driving. He pleaded parking it down, so it's not technically a DUI. It's like driving recklessly with alcohol or something like that. It's
the official charge is
it's still a DUI.
driving.
If your keys are in the ignition, even if you're sitting parked.
Yep.
Right, but they plead the charge down. That's not the actual charge you were found on.
The charge that it is OUI, operating while under the influence. I know it's the same thing, but that's what they change it to. Yeah. It's a minor flaw. It gets the same weight as a DUI on your record, but it's a lesser charge for what they can actually jail you.
Isn't Jordan Addison USC?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So his flash in the pan is about done flashing.
But anyway, that's it. Because some people we thought was popping the pill or something. This all stems from the DUI case, which he was going to take to a jury trial for some reason until he got the plea deal, and then he said
found guilty.
Yeah, he said prior to his plea deal that whatever the NFL did, he would accept and he would not appeal. So
I kind of want to hear Mike's take. He's a Vikings fan.
Yeah, that's just the background of it, Vogel. So you know. Okay. Thank you.
Well, let's hear from the Vikings fan. Sing your praises about Mac Jones 2.0. Can't wait to hear this.
I'm sorry, Ken. It's I like hearing Mike's opinion about Vikings.
Whatever, Vogel.
It is what it is, dude. I mean, if he's gonna own it, he's gonna own it. You know, it ain't no different than Randy Moss punching a cop at in Minneapolis. It ain't no different than any other wide receiver, running back that's gotten in trouble. You know, people make mistakes. You know, it's not drugs, it's not PEDs. It's not performance-enhancing drugs. It's not nothing stupid like that. The dude went out and drank. Yeah, he made a mistake. He fucked up. He's going to own it, and he's going to come back after week 3. Our wide receiver core is strong enough, to where we can miss him for 3 games. Yes, he is a playmaker. Yes, he does make plays and does a great job on the field, but we're not going to miss a beat with him not in there. So it is what it is. We're going to sit there and take our lumps like men and move on.
And I agree with that, except for the fact that you're going to see a lot more running than passing with adding Jordan Mason into that running back room and Aaron Jones still being there. I think it's going to be just like the last 5 games at Michigan where J.J. McCarthy throws it 20 to 25 times.
But see, that proves Michael's point, though. That's why Michael's point is so dead on. In some regards, they're not going to miss him in the first 3 games because they're probably going to do a lot. Look, against Chicago, you want to force Chicago to prove that run defense is better. So they're going to see a steady dose. They were going to see a steady dose of running anyways. And then they were going to not start JJ off week 1 throwing 50 bazillion times. I bet the first 3 or 4 games of the season was going to be run heavy to begin with. So I agree with Michael.
He's going to have 30. He's going to have 30 passing attempts. I think they're going to cap him. You're going to see a heavy dose, like you said, of Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, and then a lot of dump down shit to T.J. Hawkinson and a couple deep shots. And once he gets comfortable and everything else, and maybe about week 5, they start opening up a little bit more and throwing down the field and stuff like that. But realistically, he's still a rookie. He only played 2 games in the preseason. So nothing is set in stone. I am the most optimistic person in the world. I hope to fucking God that he is going to be Tom Brady.
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
As much as I talk shit about J.J. McCarthy, if he's above average, like the rest of Minnesota's roster is
good,
Super Bowl-ish worthy.
Except at one position, and
Cornerback.
Mike knows cornerback. Because
Corner.
last year they were one worse than us
I messaged
at
you.
passing yardage.
JJ just needs to be Kyle Orton, like a certain quarterback had to be last year.
Kyle Orton could throw the ball down the field.
Here's the thing.
Just manage.
JJ McCarthy needs to be JJ McCarthy. He doesn't need to be superstar. He doesn't need to do that. He needs to be a clock manager. He needs to be able to be a leader and make good decisions. If he
Does he
makes
need
good
to be Sam
decisions, the
Darnold?
rest of that roster will do what
No,
they're
he's not
designed to do.
sniffing Sam Darnold's jockstrap.
No,
bullshit.
but what I'm saying by that, Michael, is like he doesn't have to be a massive playmaker. Like when I say you have to be neckbeard, you just have to manage the game. You don't have to do anything special. You just deliver the ball where it's supposed to be, on time, on target. And if it's not there, throw it away and wait for the next play. It's all he needs to do, which is what Kyle Orton was good at. If he can do that, then he's going to be just fine in Minnesota because that's a plug and play.
He just has to make good decisions. That's it.
That's it.
But hey, guys, I don't know if JB told you, my wife got into a bad car accident on the other day, and legitimately I have to go help her get into bed. I told JB I was going to hop on for a little bit tonight, and but her back is messed up, her neck is messed up, her shoulder, and then where the seatbelt went across her, she's got a lot of seatbelt burn. So I'm going to go help her, guys, and finish cooking. I appreciate, letting me be on, and I look forward to next week.
Yeah, shit, man.
Go be
a good husband.
Yes, I love hearing that. God
Sorry
bless
about
you.
Your quarterback.
God bless you.
God bless you, Mike. We love you.
All right. I love y'all too. So thanks for having me on, guys. Sorry it's a short night, but
No worries.
Duty calls. So hope you have a good night, and Skol.
Skol fuck, yep. Gotcha.
I'm confused. I see a Colts logo.
Where?
This is the Roundtable Talk.
No, it's my
shirt.
shirt.
It is. There it is.
Oh.
There it is.
I thought he was a Colts fan. I'm like, what's a Colts fan?
His point, though, is something that I hadn't thought about. Jordan Addison is a wide receiver, too. He's right. Okay, so is it going to be that big of a deal? And I mean, look at a wide receiver, too, the best around, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. Do you really think the team is fucked if that wide receiver 2 goes down, especially if you're the Minnesota Vikings, where all of those weapons that he mentioned are at every level of the defense? I mean, you've got JJ over
without him.
Great interview, right? So that's something I hadn't really thought about. So it was a good point by him.
And don't forget, they still got Naylor. They still got Naylor. Naylor was a solid 3 that might be able to step in.
And we know how much better Michigan State receivers are than Michigan receivers.
I was going to say something about Naylor, but I'm going to wait. I'll wait.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Do it now.
Let's get Austin and Megan.
No, it's Austin and Megan.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll go just before me, Ken. Austin and Megan, what do you think about Jordan Addison being suspended for 3 games?
I mean, didn't Rashi Rice get like a DUI or some crap like that?
His hasn't been determined. His is a little bit more of a serious situation than what Addison is dealing with. I mean, because Rice caused an accident that.
Yeah, it's between like
1 sec, Dom.
It's between what Addison did and what Henry Ruggs did.
Right.
Essentially.
So, I mean, like Michael said, it is what it is. It seems like it's the run of the mill lately with NFL players, especially the younger ones. I mean, granted, he wasn't driving; he was asleep or whatever. But the possibility of what could have happened is still out there. But I think this is his learning lesson as a young player in the NFL. So he'll take his suspension, kind of like different situation. But last year with Williams getting suspended for the illegal weapons possession or whatever, different-ish situation, but he was suspended. He's younger, so I think it's a good learning experience for him. But definitely, and it's a good kind of platform for what we might expect come when Rashi Rice's suspension gets brought down. I'm expecting it to be a little bit more severe by the NFL. I'm gonna guess he's gonna be suspended roughly around 6-ish games.
I saw it 4 to 6 immediately. That's where I was at.
Just
the
because
J-Mo was gambling. Nothing ended up happening for him having a gun.
Yes, but
Correct.
yeah. So learning point, it's a learning opportunity for Addison, and I think he'll come back from it.
All right, Jamie, what do you think about it?
I really like Austin said, it's a lot of good teaching for Addison to learn from. I think he's a really, really good number 2 receiver, and to be an NFL receiver, you have to know how to be a good number 2 or number 1, coming from US wide receiver U at USC. But anyway,
it's not wide receiver U anymore, but that's my opinion.
I think wide receiver U is LSU, but
It's
they're
LSU,
number
then
2.
Clemson.
Okay.
But anyway, it's just a good learning experience from him, and great player, and like I said, it's a plug and play system, and Kevin O'Connell really knows how to tailor his offense to whoever's in the room.
Gotcha. All right, Dom.
Wasn't Jordan Addison a first-round pick?
Yep.
Yes, he was.
Okay, so he signed roughly a 3 or 4 year contract for $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million a year.
5-year deal.
4-year deal with the 5th-year option.
4 with the 5th-year option.
Yep.
Even Mr. Irrelevant has enough money to get an Uber. A first-round pick, like, you should probably have a chauffeur. So wait, he was sitting in his car, passed out, or just sitting in his car?
He was passed out.
Charles Rogers
blocking the
on-ramp to LAX. Yeah.
The thing is, like, most of these guys, pretty much all of them in the vast majority of pro sports, since most of us were children, like, other than, I don't know, Bill Lambier, Johnny Manziel, and a few other guys, like, most of these guys did not grow up with money. So I'll allow you that, like, you have all this money and all this freedom and you're a pro athlete and blah blah blah, but just, like, be smarter, because he knew even when you're drunk, you know that you're not okay to drive. So don't even get in your car, let alone drive to somewhere and then pass out at the wheel. I mean, worst case scenario, like, you want to leave the club or the bar or whatever, okay, lay down in your back seat in the parking lot.
And not have the keys
I've
in the
been in
ignition.
that situation, and the cops have showed up, and they're like, they come and knock on the window, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Sleeping it off." And they say, "Thank you for being responsible."
Right. As long as your keys are not in the ignition, they don't screw with you.
Right, exactly.
So I'm screwed. I'm screwed.
And the thing
if I have my cell phone on me,
in his situation,
that is my
like,
keys, and there is no ignition.
You have a lot more to lose.
Then you don't sleep in the driver's seat. That's basically the lesson he's trying to give here.
When self-driving cars become prevalent, and they will, when they become prevalent, will it be against the law to be drunk in your car that's driving you home, I wonder?
I don't know.
Every NFL athlete's going to have one when they come out of college.
I mean, I don't trust computers 100% whatsoever, because AI told me the other day that the Lions beat the Seahawks in that playoff game.
Yeah, because the headline went out 30 seconds before the game ended. That's why.
So if you drive a Tesla, because your phone is your keys, do not sit in the driver's seat to sleep it off. Back seat only. That's your PSA for the show.
or the passenger
Yeah, plus it'll look way cooler to people that you pass on the freeway when there's no one in the front seat.
Yeah, just because you have self-driving mode on your Tesla Model 3 Plaid does not mean it can drive you home when you're drunk.
Right.
Like I said, whatever. He's a USC receiver, so I'm not worried about it one way or the other.
Hey, Dom, you know what that reminds me of? Dwayne Jarrett, more DUIs than touchdowns, 2-1.
Dwayne Jarrett.
Jeez.
Oof.
Yep.
Kelvin Benjamin.
So, Ken.
Wait.
Oh, wait, no. I got to get Will's take first.
That's Will.
Will.
JB nailed it on the head earlier. He's going to have to learn from this. And it's mature of him to not appeal it because he knew he was in the wrong. But like JB said earlier, it's going to be Josh Naylor who's definitely taking the number 2 job when Addison's gone because Naylor had a good year last year. I think he had like 6 touchdowns. So, yeah, and I just read a thing on the Minneapolis Star, the newspaper, that Addison's out for the in practice because of like a little hamstring thing, but Naylor's turning a lot of heads, and I just read they're expecting Naylor to be the number 2 when Addison is gone.
Well, yeah, but they should be preparing for that. If there is a little injury like that after the suspension is handed down, you expect them to use
JJ Jetta's the one with the injury.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jay Jetta, gotcha. All right, Ken, the Bear fan.
So I agree with like pretty much everything that's been said. I'll just add this. I think the one thing though that we are discounting. So last year, the first Bears Vikings game, the Bears shut JJ down. JJ wasn't the reason they put up some plays. It was Addison. Because if you can shut JJ down, then Addison burns you. If you shut Addison down, because he had a big week, so coaches then look at Addison, all of a sudden JJ burns you. That's the secret sauce for them. Because they have 2 number 1 receivers. Yes, we call Addison a 2, but the guy's a first-round pick. He should be a 1. And he plays like a 1 at times. And that, so on some level, even though I agree with like, you know, hey, they're probably going to be run heavy the first couple weeks, it still hurts because in those first 3 games, if you can shut JJ down, contain Hawk, and if your run defense is stout, they've lost that piece that's needed. And that can create problems for the other JJ throwing the ball. So there is a big negative connotation there. You're going to have to force that rookie to be the guy and force him to show you he is the guy. Because right now, that guy who always burns you when you finally contain JJ isn't there. So there is a negative on the field in this. It's not just all roads. Like, oh, yeah, they're going to be fine without him. No, they're going to feel his presence not being there. And I want to end my take with, I'm waiting for main event to look at the camera. Everyone just look at that magnificent beard that Mike has done. Mike,
yeah,
great
like
look.
I said
I
earlier,
love it.
I love his beard.
Love the new look. It's been a while.
I'm sure in a couple of days it's gone. I'm going completely clean shave.
So,
I'm overdue.
I'm wondering if they need to bring in like Chris Carter and a couple of the other great wide receivers they used to and do the wide receivers rookie symposium again.
Yes.
Telling them exactly how to act in the NFL. Because ever since he stopped doing that, we've seen more of this stupid diva shit out of rookies.
I think
receivers especially.
I think each position should have like a small, maybe 3 guys who've played and say, we're doing this symposium.
Well, and there's another thing too that I forget that. Look, Minnesota's got a lot of cap. They've got cap room. Don't put it past them to wait till camp breaks when they don't have to fully guarantee the contract for the whole year, and they go out and they get like, I don't know, name a receiver that's out there that's still somewhat decent, and do something like that for a couple weeks, and then just cut him when Addison comes back. And if they don't, that gives them insurance.
Available.
No, they think that
he's always
Naylor's
available.
Gonna fit in good.
Not on the field.
They think Naylor's
Gabe
the
Davis?
right spot. Gabe
Yeah,
Davis.
Gabe Davis. Is he a free agent right now?
Yeah.
I
think
think
Big game, Gabe.
there are a couple. Look, there are a couple wide receivers available. Don't put it past the Vikings to sign someone, but just to wait till they don't have to fully guarantee it. Get a couple weeks out of them, and then make a decision. Hey, do I want to pay the guy the $2 or $3 million for the rest of the year, or just cut him and owe him nothing? Because there's that gamesmanship that comes at the money piece where they're going to do that. Where some of these guys will pick up contracts once it becomes, hey, you can sign them and not have to fully guarantee it. And if I'm Minnesota with the cap room they've got, I might do that just if I don't feel comfy with, I want another wide receiver on the roster coming in to the season with one of my best weapons on the side with a suspension. So I wouldn't put it past them. And there's some very serviceable, good wide receivers out there who can fit that bill.
Odell is sitting on the couch, isn't he?
Yes, Odell is, and then Amari Cooper still is. So
Cooper doesn't have a job either?
No,
Nope.
Cooper's still jobless. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys know when? I think the cutoff isn't right after. Is it right after camp or after week 1 game?
No.
Right after camp.
So, yeah, they break camp. Oh, we break camp on Sunday. On Monday morning, we've signed Odell Beckham Jr. to a 1-year, $5 million deal. He plays the first 3 games. They're like, oh, Addison's back. Deuces.
Ah,
What
exactly.
you got, Jiggy?
Deuces. I love that song.
All right,
Didn't
next
Cooper
up.
just have his best statistical season ever with the Browns 2 years ago?
Who?
Yeah, and then he did.
Cooper.
And then he did diddly squat on Buffalo.
He always pissed me off because Cooper, for 2 weeks at a time for multiple years, he would look like a top 3 receiver in the NFL, and then he would just fucking disappear.
That's why I'd sign Cooper.
Here is the reason why I wouldn't sign Cooper. Since he was drafted in 2017, what does he lead the league in? Drops. He's the Eric Ebron of wide receivers.
Wow, don't put that on Eric Ebron.
Wow. I mean, but look at JB though from a Minnesota perspective though, you sign him after camp, and if he's still the drop-o-matic, you can cut him, no harm, no foul to your cap long term.
That's why I would do the same thing, but go Odell Beckham Jr., who has more to prove and less miles on his legs.
No one has less miles on their legs than Odell Beckham Jr.
Well, that's because Odell spends so many time on the operating table getting them fixed.
It's just like Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay is available because he's never available.
Yeah.
What's next, JB?
Wow. Well, what we not finna do is speak poorly about Kenny Golladay.
Hey, the best part about Kenny Golladay was getting $19 million a year from the Giants and not the Lions.
That I was just talking to somebody about it earlier. That is maybe the worst, most egregious case of free agent money larceny since Fat Albert with the foreskins.
What's with New York? That's New York's second greatest contract after Bobby Bowe, who still gets paid.
That was the biggest overspend of free agent
the
since
Orioles,
Scott
not the
Mitchell.
Mets.
The second one was Lyle Collins for the Bengals.
Or when Mike Ditka traded his entire draft pick for Ricky Williams.
Yeah, but for 3 years he was great for them. You can say what you want.
And
Ricky
for
Williams
a couple
his
years
first
with
3 years.
Miami.
Yeah,
And Miami did nothing with those picks. Yeah, Miami. Actually, I just read an article not long ago because they were going over some of these trades, and they called that one actually a win for the Saints because they had that entire draft class that they got. Miami they did absolutely zero.
It was Washington got all those picks for Ricky Williams.
They did nothing with it.
They did nothing. They did nothing, and so they called that one a push at best. Or the Saints won.
Still got Ditka fired though, but still.
Yeah.
Doesn't Miami have the longest current playoff win drought right now? Or the Jets?
It's the Jets. It's the Jets. It's the Jets and Miami. But former Lions safety Tracy Walker III has been suspended for the first 12 games of the 2025 season as a free agent. Nobody's signing him now.
I don't think anyone's going to sign him anyway.
He signed with somebody last year and never got on the field.
Right.
It was the 49ers.
It was the Niners. The 40-winers. And they had injuries and he didn't make the field.
And they lost a lot of people in free agency this year, too. It seemed like that he should at least be rostered there. But soon to be retired Tracy Walker, I think we can start to refer to him as.
Yeah, I think the only way he gets a contract, it's week 12, someone needs someone, and your suspension's up.
Yeah.
One rumor is he had something to do with the Class A Guardians gambling scandal, but that's not founded.
I don't believe that. I also totally believe that.
So what I was gonna say was real quick. I know we have an order to go, but I was gonna say, like, I didn't expect him to be signed anyway. He was on a practice squad last year with the Niners, and he's 30.
I forgot he was even a thing.
Same.
Thanks, JB, for reminding us.
Like Kyle Trask.
Kyle
Trash.
That's funny.
Kyle Trash.
I
Matt
had
Patrash's
for
cousin.
Kyle Trask to be the
Bucks.
what do you call it? The narrative rewriter for quarterbacks from the state of Florida.
Yep. And it didn't work.
Yeah, now he's QB3 because Teddy Bridgewater signed with Tampa.
That would be Rex Grossman.
God damn it.
Sexy Rex.
Wow.
Sexy Rex.
Aaron Rodgers has as many
Boot this
NFC
guy out of the
championship games as
podcast
Rex
for mentioning
Grossman.
Rex Grossman.
Wow, that's rough.
That's true though, actually.
I know it's true, but it's rough.
Yeah.
He was the starting quarterback for the Bears when they made that Super Bowl, right?
That's right.
Yep. And Desmond Clark, who was the starting tight end for that team, said actually, when we had him on the show, in the morning show last summer, we asked him who his favorite quarterback he ever played with was, and he said Rex Grossman. Because he said, and he quantified, he goes, when Rex was on, there was no quarterback better he ever played with. But then he said when he was off, though, he was off.
Must have not played with any other good quarterbacks.
Well, he did. I mean, Desmond played with some good quarterbacks. I mean, I like the way he quantified it, though. He's like, when Rexy was on, there was no one better. The problem was when he was off, he was horrendous.
Kyle Orton was a good quarterback.
He was. Yeah. He won 10 games as a rookie. Got no votes for rookie of the year that year.
Kyle Orton from Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, he was just Mr. Dependable. He was a great game manager. Won 10 games as a rookie. He takes the Bears to the playoffs. He gets them into the playoffs. Rex Grossman was hurt. That's why he started his rookie year. And he gets the Bears in the playoffs, winning 10 games. And then the Bears lose in the first round because Rex Grossman stunk that game. And he gets 0 votes for Offensive Rookie of the Year, which mind-boggled me.
You could have ended that sentence after the word Grossman. You said because Rex Grossman.
My favorite Bears quarterback is.
Have you ever heard Ken's take on Dante Pettis? It's currently showing in a 3-part Netflix series called A Solid Wide Receiver 4.
Ralph.
Hello, Ralph.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Ralph.
Oh,
Hey,
so every wide receiver that Green Bay has right now?
Go
ahead.
I was going to say, JB, I got to go in 10 minutes, but I'll wait till we do our teams.
Okay. Well, why don't you just go ahead and talk about your Panthers real quick, and then you can bounce and tell people where to find you tonight.
Well, I'll stay for the last 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm going longer than that because Ralph just got here. I got to get his take on the news today. Dom, what do you think about Tracy Walker?
Like I said, didn't even realize that he was still a thing. We let him go. He was decent for us, and he went and got more money than we wanted to pay him in free agency, and apparently has not done anything with it since then. I did want to say one thing about Will's Panthers. When I saw the video the other day of Bryce Young and the Make-A-Wish kid, I couldn't tell which one was which.
That's horrible for you to say.
Just based on height, that's all.
I
like Bryce Young, and I've been rooting for him since he got drafted, and I'm so glad that he saved his career. I like Bryce Young.
I'm okay. That's terrible.
Like I said, only based upon height.
Jamie. The Tracy Walker suspension, what do you think?
Wait, Tracy who?
Yeah. There you go.
That's Tracy Morgan.
The third Tracy that the Lions have had with the last name Walker. The second one with the first name Tracy. No, wait.
Tracy Morgan. Dumb. It's Tracy Morgan. Tell him straight.
No, it was Brian Bracey Tracy.
I guess Jimmy has
All
nothing.
right. Austin and Megan.
Well, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say. I didn't even think he was around anymore. When I saw he was in the topics, I actually had to Google to make sure I had the right one. And I did. It was the one I was thinking of. But I mean, at this point, he might as well just call it a career. He's 30. He's not going to get signed. I mean, he wasn't going to get signed by a team anyway. No. But now the fact that he's out for over 50% of the regular season, he's definitely not going to get signed now, no matter how desperate a team is. So, I mean, he should.
What about you, Megan? What do you think of Tracy Walker being suspended for 12 games? Do you feel the same way that Austin?
When Austin said that, like, you had to look him up, I was like, who? And then I was like, oh, it is the right person, right? But yeah, with him being suspended, I agree. He's not going to get signed because no team is going to want him.
When the the countdown for the suspension doesn't even start until after the cuts for the 53-man roster on the 26th.
Right. Main event, Mike.
I think it's a non-issue. I mean, what a joke. You're suspended for 12 games. You don't even have a job. Like getting laid off before you get hired.
On your day off.
Next. Tracy Walker, Tracy Morgan.
A quick quiz for you Lions fans in the chat here. What was Tracy Walker's rookie number?
21.
Nope. Maybe.
Damn, Mike was quick.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. He was drafted as a linebacker.
So it was like 40 or 50 something?
54.
No, not 54. But it was in the 40s. Okay, since you first said it, it was in the 40s.
48.
40.
41.
43.
48.
44.
Drafted as a linebacker. He wasn't big enough.
He was number 20. He was a safety.
47 was his number. He was drafted as an outside linebacker.
He kept it, too.
He kept it for 2 years and then switched after Petrasha was gone.
So like the opposite of Rodrigo, because Rodrigo played some safety in college and then became an undersized linebacker.
Right. The exact
and everybody's hero, Tom Kennedy, but he got a starting job.
Yep.
Man.
The only reason why I know that was
just love Rodrigo.
Love Rodrigo. Love him. I know you continually bash Rodrigo, Tom. Love this guy. And we will have no Tom Kennedy slander at all.
No 5th or 6th round pick that isn't even a real linebacker should be starting for you.
He's a beast on special teams. We ripped it down.
He's a workhorse.
We got a 6th rounder. If we cut Malcolm Rodriguez, you don't think another team would pick him up in a minute? He would not clear waivers. I guarantee he would not clear waivers.
He's Hispanic. Jalen Reeves may have been.
No, he's Hispanic.
He's a
Get it right.
Linebacker. You're crazy, dude. He's Hispanic. Was out. He played so much before he got hurt. He was playing great, covering backs out of the backfield, covering tight ends over the middle.
He's big enough to cover the tight end,
because our linebackers have been a bottom 5 unit for 20 years. As a depth linebacker, a 6th round pick that the fans love, you can't beat that guy.
I'll tell you what.
Just not a starter.
Sure, but we ripped it down the studs. And as soon as we drafted guys and built the team up a little, he went right to the bench and jumped in his role. He's a great team player. I mean, that's why I don't understand why you don't love Rodrigo.
I do.
It's not that I don't love him. I just never loved him as a starter.
Okay, Dom. I've been trying to talk for 5 minutes now.
Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. Rodrigo is Hispanic Zach Follett.
I have to agree more than I disagree.
because
did Rodrigo
hits great.
write the concussion answers on his arm like Follett did?
No, but he handed out as many concussions as Zach Follett did. Oh, so that being said, we're gonna get camp news from each person. I'm gonna start right with Ralph. What are things being said about camp in Pittsburgh?
Well, we have a first-round pick lineman who is not doing very well right now. His real name is Broderick Jones, but they're calling him Bustrick and Bumrick Jones. That's what they're calling him right now. So Will Howard is injured already. He's got a sore thumb. I don't know if it's as bad as what Ben's thumb was. Everybody made a big issue about Ben's thumb. And so we'll see what kind of questions they ask Mike Tomlin about Will Howard's thumb. So, I mean, but and I was at a couple of those Bill Cowher press conferences when they asked about Ben's thumb. So, I mean, but other than that, it's not going too bad. We're in our first preseason game is Saturday in Jacksonville, and we're going to find out exactly what we have right now because we have a lot of key free agents we signed, but we don't know what they can do here as compared to what they did there. So we'll see what happens. They have to get acclimated with the system, and we'll see what Aaron Rodgers does. And now we have to deal with Skylar Thompson because Will Howard is not going to be available, and Mason Rudolph will probably get the bulk of the snaps. I'm interested to see what Jacksonville looks like with Travis Hunter and Liam Cohen. That's my thing there. And can Trevor Lawrence with his third coach? I'm interested to see what he's going to do this year. This is his third coach. So let's see what he does. I mean, so but as far as Steeler training camp goes, no real bad injuries except for Will Howard's thumb. And, Salomalu's out with one of our linemen with soft tissue problems. And so other than that, we're going to find out what happens. This offensive line is a little bit suspect right now. Can they protect Aaron Rodgers? We need to find out. And we'll see what goes on. I'm interested to see what our draft picks look like. That's where I'm looking at. So there you go.
Right.
I'm going to go to a boxing match with your cat.
Absolutely love Pittsburgh going all in to go 10-7 and still losing the first round.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Jamie Malloy.
I've said this many times, and I'll say it one more time. If the Steelers go to the Super Bowl with Mike Tomlin, I will do all my shows naked. Okay? That's how much.
The good thing is,
Mike Tomlin's going to retire with that one Super Bowl he won with Bill Cowher's players. Okay, he has 2 more years left on his contract. It'll be 20 years. I think he's done. I hope he walks away. I really do.
How long have you wanted him to get fired?
Since he hasn't won a playoff game since 2016.
Okay. All right.
And he got rid of every good assistant he ever had and brought in a bunch of yes men who can't coach their way out of a paper bag. We have Terrell Austin. Ask Smoke and Jeremy B about Terrell Austin.
Yeah, Austin was your guy.
He's our defensive
Brian Flores
coordinator.
for a minute.
Yeah. Ask Jeremy B about him.
Yeah, we remember Terrell Austin.
Yeah. And now we're stuck with him, and he stinks. And we
you're
got rid of
welcome.
a good guy like Brian Flores,
Yeah, I know. But Jamie Malloy, let's hear about Bill's camp real quick.
Not too much. It looks like Josh is still Josh. James Cook is holding in for his contract, but that gives Ray Davis some more reps. Keon Coleman looks like is breaking out in camp, which is good to see. We need to see some stuff out of him. But I think we're going to talk about Big Deion Walker, 6'7", 331-pound defensive tackle, a.k.a. the Dancing Bear, or the big guy with the big ballerina, or the big guy with ballet shoes on his feet, they call him, because he's 6'7", 331 pounds, and most guys will just like thump their way to the quarterback and the D lineman, but he's so athletic, except for that, he just goes like he's very light on his feet for a 6'7", 330-pound defensive tackle, and he's gonna hopefully help shore up the D line and the entire defense, which is what they upgraded on this year.
I have a question about the Bills.
Fire away, Dom.
Can you beat the Chiefs in the playoffs?
I think this is the best year to
I
do
don't
it.
believe you.
I don't believe you.
I think this might be the year, though.
That's what I just said.
Khalil Shakir had an ankle injury too. I heard. Did you hear anything about that?
I did hear about that. I take these camp injuries unless they're out for the season with a grain of salt now, because like I said, you have 17 games and less preseason games. But the only good thing about them getting hurt in the preseason, it heals quicker for game 2 or 3, but it heals quicker for the regular season.
I like Keon Coleman as a late round wide receiver on my fantasy team this year.
Go for it, dude.
Michigan State.
He's going like 11th, 12th round in most drafts.
State.
I think that could be a steal.
Yes, the fuck he did, Will.
You said Michigan or Florida?
Michigan State. He went to
And then he went
FSU
to
his
Florida and
last
he
year.
transferred to Florida State.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear your Panthers news.
And then
we
I
all know
got
the
it. I'm sorry.
I know, and we know the Pampers are full of shit. But anyways, go ahead.
Not full of shit anymore. Come on, JB. They're getting better. So we did receive news that earlier this afternoon that J.C. Horn was in a car accident. Everything's okay. It was just rainy in uptown Charlotte and all around Charlotte today. No one got hurt. He wasn't speeding. He did have to get stitches and he sat out practice, but he's fine. No crazy other injuries. They looked really poor against the Browns in practice. There were 3 false start penalties, but on either Tuesday or Wednesday, Luther Ransom has been playing really well for us.
Didn't J.C. Horn get the biggest corner contract of all time?
I don't know why. He's a one-time Pro Bowler. I don't know.
Son of former Saints wide receiver Joe Horn.
He's not.
I think it's his nephew.
Yes.
Nephew. Sorry, nephew. Yeah.
But I've got to run. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Will. So shout out your channel real quick.
WVogs18. I do comic books, but I'm also here on Wednesdays and Fridays. Most importantly,
we like Chuba Hubbard.
Yes, I do too. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one, Bobby.
Thank you. All right. Let's hear about the Bears camp.
So, really, I'm like, I don't put much in the camp with all the clicky baity stuff and everything else. We got joint practices starting with the Dolphins leading into the game this weekend. And to be fair, I'm more interested in a Dolphins wide receiver this week than I am the Bears, because I have a personal stake and interest in it, because my buddy's son is an undrafted free agent rookie for the Dolphins. So I'm more interested to see how A.J. Henning's going to do versus anything else, because I want A.J. to make the squad. His dad and I served together in the Army for a bit. But awesome. Bears, when it comes to camp and the clickbait articles and these little videos and that we see and the hype videos that teams put out, I mean, really, I don't put much faith in it. I have 2 questions, and those 2 questions are going to remain the same from today until week 3. Is the offensive line better? And is Ben Johnson not just a good offense coordinator, but is he also a head coach? Or is he another Mike McDaniels who's going to, and I say McDaniels because I call that man the franchise killer.
The answers are maybe, and you hope so.
So he killed Denver and he killed the Raiders. And I hope Ben Johnson is not that. I hope Ben Johnson, you would think, just on his offensive play calling ability, should make this team better. But now, how is he as an offensive head, or as a head coach? Because like Vic Fangio, probably one of the best defensive coordinators in the history of the NFL, sucked ass as a head coach in Denver.
That's 70% of coordinators as head coaches.
So those are my 2 questions coming out of Chicago. And some of the stuff's encouraging, how Ben's holding their feet to the fire, which was the complaint last year. We want accountability. Well, you're getting it now when he kicks the first offense off the field because he's not happy with something they're doing.
That's what separates an offensive coordinator from a good head coach.
I don't think I've ever talked to you or been on a podcast with you before, but I'm going to tell you something, and I feel bad for you, but it's 100% true. The current Chicago Bears are the 2000s Detroit Lions.
Well, we've done a few pod shows cast on this very forum together, but
You heard me say that?
Can't remember if I've heard you say that, because the last time I saw you was probably a month or two ago.
I can testify that Dom called that one a long time ago in the back.
He might have. I mean, like I said, I don't remember. You may have said a way ago.
You seem like a cool dude, so I feel bad for you.
No, I mean, look, don't feel bad. Like, look, this is what I've said about the offensive line.
Go back and look at the 2000s Lions.
If the offensive line is half as bad as it was last year, this offense has the firepower to put points on boards. Okay? If Ben Johnson is a decent head coach, it will be better than the 5-win season we had last year. If everything is like the Adam Ranks of the world and the guys who are drinking the Kool-Aid by the gallon is true, then look out. So, I mean, the personnel, they have the talent. Every team in this division has talent, and a lot of it. It's just these are the questions, and every team in this division, I think there are legitimate questions that they have to answer. And for the Bears, their two questions this year are: did you adequately fix the offensive line, and is Ben Johnson going to be a good head coach? Because everything they've done in the offseason, to me, has been a step in the right direction. You got the offensive-minded head coach. You went and you got a good DC who's proven in this league. You've got a lot of good coaches with him. So on paper, it looks like they did the right thing. Let's see how that happens when the games start to happen for real. You will get a little bit of that. You can get a little taste of that in the preseason with the coordinators and the head coach, a touch, but not much. And then with the personnel, we're not going to see that offensive line till week 1. Right? So those are my two big questions. If those questions are answered in the positive, it's going to be fun. If those questions are answered in the negative, then maybe you're right, Dom, 2000 Lions.
You know what? The Bears might surprise some people, Ken. We don't know that.
I think they will.
I believe they will too. Ben Johnson, I believe, could probably be a good head coach in this league. And we'll see what happens,
And when
Ralph, that's where I'm at.
Take into account also what the changes on the offensive line. They didn't just bring in some bums.
No.
That's Joe Tooney, True Dahlman,
they didn't
and
bring in
Jonah
one
Jackson, a former Pro Bowler himself. So, I mean, they made significant upgrades to the weakness of the team. And I think no one plays 12 personnel more than Ben Johnson, and drafting Colston Loveland fits right in there with Cole Kmet. And to Ralph's point, this team could be dangerous.
And that's the thing. I don't want to, as a Bears fan, because last year I thought, man, this is a quarterback's wet dream coming into the season. Mike, remember me saying it, and ended up being a nightmare. 3 OCs and 2 head coaches later. He still had a solid rookie season with all of that, but you know what I mean? So I don't want to get too caught up in that. And because really, Ralph, I'm kind of with you. Like, if that offensive line is half as bad as last year's, notice I say half as bad. That would put them around 15 to 16 in the league, whereas before they were 30 to 32. And if Ben Johnson's a good head coach with the talent on this roster, they could put up 30 points a game. It could be stupid, But I don't want to get myself believing that now would be let down again.
Well, see, the first thing that Ben Johnson did was go out and get a prominent defensive coordinator.
Yep.
When you're a new head coach like Ben Johnson is, you have to go out and get some quality assistants. You can't go out and get yes men or bums or whatever. You got to go out and get some guys, and I'm going to use Mike Tomlin guys. You got to go out and get some guys that are, really good coaches that have been in the league a long time. Dennis Allen, man, he's a good defensive coordinator. Stinks as a head coach, good defensive coordinator.
Bieniemy's your running backs coach, former head coach. He's a good coach as well.
Never was a head coach.
And then Randall Antonell, we know he's a good coach.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what I'm saying. What I mean there. I mean, so when it comes to what I'm seeing at camp right now, I don't really process it as too good or too bad. I'm a little more indifferent because the clickbait media is so terrible. Like the video of Caleb and the throwing thing we talked about earlier in the very next session, his next turn on, everything was a laser dime. So, it's like, for me, the only things I want to see answered out of camp is and I'm not going to see it because Jalen Johnson's out with whatever the injury. I'm thinking it's either a hamstring issue or a slight tear, whereas the Packers had their guy do surgery. Maybe the Bears are just sit and wait. I'm thinking it could be one of those. And I want to see Brisker, who said he had to retrain his entire nervous system to play after that concussion in week 5 last year. So that's like the only thing to take away from camp right now. That is good. That Brisker's out there playing and he's looking good. That's it. I don't have much else. We'll see more joint, and we'll see as preseason as far as the backups, because the whole Case Keenum and Secret Agent Man, fighting for backup, that's interesting. We actually do have a kicker competition right now, which I like. Because Santos can't kick past 53. Kim can kick 55, 57. We'll see how that pans out. I'm happy to at least see the Bears bring someone in to push Santos, because I do like Santos, but I'm happy to see that. And we actually have an honest-to-God position battle at left tackle. They're saying that Kieran is the most improved guy on the roster from last year. Braxton, we didn't expect him to be back at camp. He's been there all of camp. And then you got Ozzie. So I want to see how that progresses, but that's about it. And what's up, Go Pack Go? Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, Vinny.
If JJ McCarthy sucks this year, the Bears will finally climb out of last place. I'm doubling down on my prediction from last year, which says Lions win the division by 1 game or a tiebreaker over probably Green Bay, maybe Minnesota, and then whoever sucks in last, maybe Minnesota, maybe Chicago.
Look, it's sucking in last place in this division. I'm not going to disagree with you on this, but I'll say this. Sucking and being in last place in this division with the rosters that are in this division could be 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah. I think separation between first and last is going to be 3 games.
Yeah.
4 tops.
But I said that last year.
Some of these teams have to get lucky, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I mean, you know, if some of these teams get lucky, other team has an injury or bad injuries. I mean, look at Detroit; they had injuries going into the playoffs, and they ended up losing. So I mean, things like that could happen, and the Bears could get lucky this year. Minnesota could get lucky, but we'll see.
Yeah, for me, it's like flip a quarter. Who's going to win the division and flip a quarter? Who's going to be in last place? Dude, go flip a quarter.
Yeah, how many games did the Bears lose last year where there was on the last player, it was, right there within 1 score? I mean, if some of those go their way last year.
Between good teams and bad teams.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot. And look at what Mike is saying, though, that was with the shitty coaching. I mean, the Bears went through 3 offensive coordinators, 2 head coaches. And then you have Mike this year. Like, look, even when we're on head coach number 2, office coordinator number 3, we beat the Packers, and we still end up in close games. So Mike is right. It's like,
they were 4-2 going into the game, the Hail Mary game. They were 4-2 going into that game.
If that game ends differently and the Bears win that, how different is that season last year? And could Eberflus still be the coach? Who knows? But everything unraveled after that game for sure, Mike. It did unravel after that game for sure in epic proportions. And that's that luck thing, though, too. You get an unlucky play like that, and look how it changes the trajectory of your season. And conversely, look at Washington gets that lucky Hail Mary play, and look how their season changed.
Exactly. It's better to be lucky than good.
Washington's actually good because they drafted the good quarterback.
Ooh.
And they have a good offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury, too.
Yeah. And look, and Dom, I've made this argument too. If you had flip-flopped that and Caleb went to Washington, I think Caleb would be the talk of the bell of the ball right now. And everyone going, hey, Chicago, everyone told you he should have gone number 1. Why don't you take him number 1? They were, with both those guys, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. They're both are Heisman Trophy guys. They're both going to be in the league a while, and they're going to be a story. And they're going to be a story for years together until one of them either completely busts out or they're just going to be like this story where at the end of their career, well, Jaden got 2 and Caleb got 1 or something like that's going to happen. But if the Bears had drafted Jaden at 1 and Caleb at 2, then everyone would be like, oh, you guys fucked up. You should have taken Caleb at 1 like everyone told you should.
Well, here, I got something for you, Ken. You know why the Steelers took Kenny Pickett? I don't know if you heard this story.
Yeah, you told us last week.
Because he's
because of Dan Marino. They didn't want the Dan Marino heartache of everyone screaming and hollering Why didn't you draft Dan Marino? Because Dan Marino could have took us to it, but we would have about 10 Super Bowls if Dan Marino was our quarterback. Okay, and that's why they took Kenny Pickett, because they didn't want to hear the Dan Marino squawking.
And that was the historically worst quarterback draft year of all time.
Yes, it was. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well, we could have waited and still got Kenny Pickett.
But two Pittsburgh, that's an interesting story, though. Two Pitt quarterbacks right there. I mean, they train in the same facility and everything. They knew Kenny Pickett really well. And it's not like the Steelers to draft a quarterback in the first round at all. So that was a big shocker in itself. But
yes. Yeah, we're going to find out
what Kenny smaller hands than Jared Goff.
Offense. That's what we're going to find out.
It's interesting. Like Ryan's question, do you expect the Packers to be better this year? Well, of all the teams in the North, they're the most static. They had the least amount of high-end turnover in the division. So you expect them to at least maintain. But look, they're a team with questions too. Is their quarterback worth $55 million a year? He wasn't last year. He better show that he was this year. And they did draft a receiver in the first round.
Ken, on the last show I was on earlier at 9 o'clock on the 9 o'clock show I'm on. We just had that discussion. Is Jordan Love worth that kind of money?
This is the year. Historically, your third-year starting is when you're going to show whether you're worth it. He needs to show that this year. And look, they did do something they haven't done in 2 decades in Green Bay. Drafted a receiver in the first round. How good is Golden? Some say he's he was the best. Some say he's the second best. Some say he was the third best. Opinions are like, you know what? Everyone's got one when it comes to that, right? So we'll see. But they are the most static in terms of high-end turnover. They didn't lose a bunch of coaches. They kept the same starting quarterback. I mean, they are the consistent team in the division, but they have questions, and that is, how good is Jordan Love? Is he worth $55 million? Is he a true franchise guy that's going to carry him? And what's the answer after Josh Jacobs if he should get hurt? Because last year was good. He did it. But what's their backup plans? And is Tate a true number one, or are they just happy they drafted the guy in the first round regardless?
And let's not forget, last year, the one thing they didn't address this year, and they should have, was their pass rush. Last year, they had the worst pass rush in the league.
Yes.
So by not improving the pass rush, does that secondary get better with losing Jair Alexander? I don't see how it does.
Look, I was on a Packers show before I jumped on here. I just happened to be on there. And they are excited about Dontavian Wicks transitioning from wide receiver to cornerback. And they are just praising it. I'm thinking, Jair Alexander was a Pro Bowl corner, and you're replacing him with a fourth-string wide receiver. I mean, I get these guys are top-flight athletes, and they could probably learn a new position, right? But, look, you're really putting a spin on it if you're excited about this.
Well, Mike, these are the same guys, though, who said, well, we don't care that Jair left because he only played in 6 games last year. Yeah, in all 6 games he played last year were only 6 games that their other savior had an interception.
That is their MO.
There's no correlation there, Mike.
That is their MO for sure. To praise him and praise him and praise him, and then when they leave, go, yeah, he was a bum anyway. They ran Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre out of town the same way.
It's Bo Milton that went to CB, not Dontavian.
Oh, was it Bo Milton? I'm sorry, of course.
Yeah.
But their big free agent signing. But their big free agent signing last year, who is the savior of the Green Bay defense, because he had all these interceptions. The games he got interceptions were games that Jair Alexander played in. In games Jair Alexander didn't play, guess how many interceptions he had?
And they are super excited about that 5'11" fourth receiver taken in the draft.
Yeah. So, but to answer the question, are the Packers better? By laws, but I will say yes, and only because they were the most consistent. They have the most consistency from last year to this year. So yes, in that department, yeah, they're better. They don't have a new coaching staff. They're not installing a new offense or a new defense or installing a new quarterback. So
Second
from that
year for Jeff Hafley's defense ought to be good.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, yes, they are better than last year. But where are they going to fall? I think this is, and I've made this argument, is that they could end up in the basement because they have been mediocrity. Yes, they get to the playoffs every year, but yes, they draft 18 to 24 every year, not getting those high-end blue chips. Whereas all 3 other teams in the division are getting those better draft picks and are more willing to bring in free agents. I think all 3 teams in the division will surpass them because of that at some point. And look, as a Packers fan, it's not meant to be a rub. You've had success, but you just haven't found that way to be a successful team that gets better enough to up level. So for them missing a year or two of the playoffs might actually be a good thing for Green Bay. But I think they're in a prime position to be surpassed by all three teams in this division who've added better talent and better coaching across the board.
I don't think anyone from the North is a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
Well, according to the odds makers in Vegas, the 5th best odds right now is the Lions.
5th best?
Yep.
In the NFC
best
or in the league?
in the league.
No way.
Yes.
With who ahead of them?
You already know.
The Chiefs.
Suspects. You already know.
The Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bills, and the Ravens. That's who's ahead of them. That's it. The Chargers are 6th.
The fucking Chargers.
The Chargers. I thought the Rams were 6th.
Nope, they're 7th.
Yeah.
They're 7th on the latest one.
And really, don't sleep on Tampa Bay either.
And Tampa Bay's 8th.
No.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's 8th. And I'm trying to remember who was
Broncos
9th.
too.
Yeah, the Broncos were 9th.
And then, nobody can dispute that Joe Burrow in that offense.
And then the Packers were 10th.
Yep.
That's where it ended.
The question with
Packers
Cincinnati is their offensive line. You know, they got blown away in the Super Bowl because they have a poor offensive line. They're very bad at drafting offensive linemen. And Burrow's going to get killed if they don't get a decent.
It's not even that they're bad at it; they just don't do it.
No, but they can go sign another tight end. You know, it's like, and they have no defense. So they're right now their theme and Cincy is
yes,
Joe is going to put up 40, and we're going to hope that the defense can limit you to 35. I swear that's what their thought process in Cincinnati must be.
I'm pretty sure they set some sort of record last year for the number of times they put up like 30 plus
they
points.
did. Yeah. Burrow had like
still
3 or 4 games in a row like that.
They should have still made the playoffs, but
they because of how their season went by scoring that many points, but they gave up almost as many points every game. The defense, the only thing they won 9 games on was the games where Trey Hendrickson had 3+ sacks. Go look.
Yeah, so, when he was out of the game, Jeremy, or he wasn't, he was having a bad game or something, they stunk. I mean, their defense is
and
terrible.
That's why they needed the Broncos to get beat by the Chiefs in Week 18 in order for them to win in Week 18 to get in.
Losing Jesse Bates was huge for them. I don't think that gets understated a lot. That was a huge loss to that defense. That was their identity.
Right. That back half of the defense gave up more yardage than almost every other safety duo in the league last year because they weren't able to tackle.
I don't know if I agree with Ryan's take there. Tampa has Baker. They're stuck with mediocrity. I mean, look at Baker Mayfield. I said this the other day. I think it was last night on open mic for Driving the Top. Baker is the guy who's the number 1 pick, goes to Cleveland where they're the laughingstock, and they suck. And he brings them out of obscurity into some type of relevance. Even so, it's where he's doing TV commercials as in Cleveland. You got national TV commercials with your team's quarterback. They win a playoff game. And then they do this whole Deshaun Watson bullshit. And destroyed his ego, destroyed his whatever you want to call it, until Tampa said, "You're our guy."
And who did they hire that year that they got Baker Mayfield to squirt his QB juice all over him?
To be their offensive coordinator and their quarterbacks coach. Dave Canellis is a good coach at that. He was good in Seattle, and he was good down in Tampa. He got Baker moving, and then Liam Cohen picked up where he left off.
And the proof of that was Geno Smith that same year. The Seattle Geno Smith play degraded without Dave Canellis there.
Right. You're exactly correct. And now he's got a big contract again down in, with the Raiders.
So I definitely would call, and Broski throws up those stats from last year. Baker's not mediocrity.
Yeah, I know.
No.
And had Cleveland not done what they did, we might.
2 good coaches, Ken. That's the interesting thing, Yep.
Well, Ralph, what do you think Cleveland would be like if they had not done what they did? If they would have stuck with Baker, we might be talking about them being perennial favorites to be in the Super Bowl.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? They've made mistakes on quarterbacks for years. Tim Couch. I mean, how far back do we need to go? I mean, you know, Tim Couch right there is the biggest bust of them all when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. You know, they can't find their way out of a paper bag. And I think this is it for Stefanski, I think, after this year.
I feel sorry for Stefanski because from everyone
I do too. He's a good coach, but it's just,
great coach.
Yeah.
The rest of their roster has been really good for several years.
And now it's time to go.
Legit.
Now it's time to go over the last team that we haven't talked, because it's the one where we have the most fans, because I wanted everybody else to get their camp news out, and that's the Lions. Number one, all three players that were injured, they were minor. Dan Campbell says they'll all be back within a week. The one that is the longest is 10 days, and that's Lovett, the small wide receiver that's been our kick and punt returner. The other big news is that working with the first team, instead of Tim Patrick at the 3, it's Isaac Tesla.
I like the dude's name.
I like his name too, because I liked what I said when we drafted him when they said it wrong at the draft. You remember that, Ken? They said, and they draft Isaac Tesla, and I said, look, the Fords bought a Tesla.
You got a Model X.
The all-electric Isaac Tesla. Or the hybrid plug-in or whatever. That's what Chris Berman would say about him.
Yep.
Hey, JB, go ahead and finish. I'll then ask my question.
The other is Kirby Joseph and Amik Robertson finally came back to practice this week. So they're back. Taylor Decker's back at practice this week, and that's going to make our offensive line better going into the season. But Isaac Tesla was given the nickname by Moton Mitch of Vanillatron. I like what the Lions gave him better. They call him Coleslaw. The reason why is because if you leave him open, he sits out and does bad things.
I gotta tell you, Jeremy, Dan Campbell's picking up where he left off with coaches. All right, he's got Hank Fraley from he played at Robert Morris in Pittsburgh. He's got Bruce Gradkowski, who was the offensive coordinator for the St. Louis Brawlhawks. Okay, or whatever it's called.
Battlehawks.
Yeah, or whatever.
It is better.
He also has Mark Brunell as his quarterbacks coach. So I mean, this is a pretty good staff here as far as
and Scotty Montgomery is the running back and wide receivers coach now.
He coached he was with the Steelers.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Here's my question, JB.
David Shaw. I mean, come on, the former head coach at Stanford. I mean, he really has a staff here.
And Johnny Morton, that was actually a part of our staff at the beginning of the 2022 season when we built the playbook with Ben Johnson and Goff, and left to go to Tampa Bay, then left to go to the Broncos with Sean Payton.
You got to say Morton's nickname that Broski gave him, Morton Salt Company. My question, though, JB, is after the Hall of Fame game, are there still Detroit fans who think Hendon Hooker should be the starter? Because honestly, I don't even know how the dude still has a job.
Because he went 50% and only threw one pick instead of like Kyle Allen that made Tim Boyle, David Blau, and Nate Sutfelt look good in that first half.
And then you got the Shea Townsend too, former Steeler, on your staff. So, yeah, I'm interested to see if Dan Campbell can pick it up, with this new staff. Losing 2 coordinators.
Right. And Calvin Shepard was a part of the staff, and he was promoted from within. And he already said we're going to blitz more than we did, because that was the biggest thing all Lions fans bitched about, is the fact we didn't blitz enough.
Ever.
And Ryan, you're a Browns fan. You can make all the comments about your Brownies you want. Tell us what you agree with or don't agree with what other folks are saying. Some of us do shows consistently about all 32 NFL teams and talk to other podcasters who cover other teams. Last night I was on a show with a podcaster who does the Browns, and some of what I said is actually came from him. So I'm like, that's a good point. So, and some of us like Ralph have been calling football forever, and he has a wealth of knowledge. So no offense taken, don't get me wrong, Ryan, but make your comments and let us know what you think we got wrong with the Browns, and trust me, we're more than willing to discuss it.
There's nothing wrong. There's a lot wrong with the Browns, and that is that they stink, and they're going to continue to stink because the Browns will be the Browns. Now, I would like to see the Browns start winning when they get their new dome stadium. That's what I would love to see,
And I think they will.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, new dome stadium, pump everybody up, get the team winning, just like next year. The Steelers are hosting the NFL draft. God help everybody there because public safety is horrible. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that here. But anyway, they have the draft next year. And, the Steelers are looking to have not only just a good draft, but also to have a good appearance with the city. And then on top of that, maybe even try to, well, I don't hold my breath for them contending for a championship. That's, so.
Not if you want your coach gone, you don't.
No, not at all. I don't see Stefanski lasting after this year. I think he's gone if they go 5-10 or whatever, So.
And it really I think Stefanski's a really good head coach. I think his GM and ownership have done more to sabotage that program.
I think it's the GM. I don't think it's ownership. Jim Haslam's a very good owner. I mean, he was the minority owner with the Steelers for a while, and he got out because he couldn't get Tomlin out.
The biggest downfall that I saw to the front office of the Browns was the year after we fired Bob Quinn. They waited till just before the draft to hire Bob Quinn as an assistant GM. And I swear to God, I think it's because the GM said, as long as he picks anything other than an offensive lineman, we don't take him.
Yeah,
I mean, and when you go to Deshaun Watson, the ownership had to blast off on that. And I get that Deshaun Watson and with the Texans was not a terrible quarterback, but neither was Baker at that point. And that's why everyone across the league was just like, what the heck are you guys doing there? And look, we see it now that Baker's having more success again with Tampa, and he does Baker things that are in the positive. And like, honestly, if Baker stayed in the Browns, I think with that defense and Baker at quarterback, I think that Browns team is a perennial playoff team, and we might have even been talking Super Bowl at this point about them. Versus
Deshaun Watson was overkill because even if Deshaun Watson was as good as he was for that 1 year with the Texans, the Browns' success was based on Nick Chubb and defense. You didn't need Deshaun Watson. You would have been just fine with Baker.
And with after you did the money and everything, the circus that came to town, you set your team back 3, 4, 5 years easy.
And I agree with what Ryan said right here. Stefanski is actually safe. I think the GM is not.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. But
at the same time, if the GM comes in and doesn't agree with Stefanski's scheme,
they want their own coach.
They'll want their own coach.
That's how that works.
A new GM always wants their own coach.
That's the Bears.
College team always
and their own quarterback.
And their own quarterback.
But they do have a lot of picks for next year too because of that trade that they made, trading the number 2 pick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there is a possibility if the new GM just really digs Stefanski. Sure, there is that possibility. That's a rarity. But even look at Chicago. Like Poles, finally, this is his head coach this year. A lot of people go, oh, but Lieberflus. No, he was given a list of 3 people, and they said, here, hire one of these 3 that we have vetted and interviewed. And oh, by the way, you have 12 hours to give us an answer, so you can sign the contract, and we have a press conference. So, I mean, there's a lot of argument. That's the other part. Poles didn't even want Flus back last year. Stefanski's got an uphill battle, even with the new GM. Even if I'm the incoming GM and I like Stefanski, the first time we have a disagreement, that's boom, you're gone. See ya. It's just
exactly. Yeah.
They want their own guy, and it's unfortunate for Stefanski because even watching him on Hard Knocks, I think the players respond well to him. I think he's a really good head coach, and he doesn't blow shit out of proportion.
He just has a bad front office. It's as simple as that. I've said this many times: scouting, front office, and coaching. If you don't have any of the 3 of them, you're done. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Make Stefanski the GM. What if you make Stefanski the GM?
Front office. Yeah.
Then Stefanski
that doesn't work unless you're Bill Belichick and you've signed a blood oath with Satan.
Yeah, it's just I feel bad for Stefanski, but look, I think if Stefanski gets fired in that situation, that guy has a head coaching job as soon as he wants.
Hey, I'll tell you what, we do have an understanding. We both have the same problem. We both have not been in or won a Super Bowl. Yeah. So.
And Ryan's last comment, I totally believe in. And even non-Lions or non-Browns fans, I like Stefanski. As a Bears fan, I think he's a great head coach. And last year, when we knew after we fired Eberflus at midseason, I think Broski can attest to this. I think JB can attest to this. I said I was hoping you guys would fire Stefanski because he was a guy I wouldn't mind the Bears firing. Like, let the Brownies mess up and let the Bears get.
Yeah, you fired Eberflus. And then you didn't fire Poles, and then you gave him an extension.
Well, yeah, because now he's married to his head coach, because this is his head coach, whereas Eberflus wasn't. But I was saying last year, trying to keep this about the Browns, not the Bears, that I was hoping last year the Browns would fire Stefanski so Poles could hire him. I was hoping Stefanski would be the next head coach of the Bears at one point there. I was salivating over that.
You said that the week, and I told you, I said, I remember after that Thanksgiving Day game, I said, you watch before Tuesday, Eberflush will be fired.
Hey, I had 105 years of Bears history backing me up that they'd never, ever in their history had done that. So I don't feel bad about saying, hey, they'll wait to the end of the season. But they set a new trend, which is great.
At this point in time, that's not a good thing. Again, 2000s Lions.
Okay. At any point, I still like Stefanski, and I was hoping the Brownies would mess up and fire him.
And because it's the only time not only in my fandom or viewing life, the only time in our franchise history we've had the same GM, head coach, and starting quarterback for 5 years is right now. And that's the only thing I said when we hired Campbell and Holmes and traded for Goff. I said, I hope they're all still here in 5 years.
Here's the crazy thing. As good as the Lions have been since Dan Campbell's been here, who's the only team with the winning record against us right now? Or 500 or better?
Is it? I don't want to say. No, it's not Minnesota, is it?
It's not Minnesota.
It's no not the
Packers.
Division.
It's the Bears. The Bears are 500 versus the Lions since Dan Campbell been here.
Wow.
Oh, really?
My team.
Right, because remember they beat us twice in our first year here. Then they won one, and they won one a year for 2 years in a row. And last year they got the golden sombrero that we threw everybody in.
And Dom, to be fair, with the you mentioned the Poles extension, it marries him to Johnson, and it marries both of them to Caleb.
And much like Justin Fields, now you have a first-round quarterback in year 2 coming into a minimally a new GM, but a new head coach,
I get that, but now that all three are married, and I think all three either will sink or swim together. So if Caleb ends up going, I think they all go.
And I predicted it when he got drafted. I don't think Caleb Williams lasts in Chicago to fulfill his rookie contract.
Based off what I saw last year, I'll disagree with you.
I hope for your sake you're right, but I don't see it.
So, and
he's got a new coach. I mean, he's got an offensive-minded coach. So maybe this time it might work. I mean,
I said on paper with the coaching staff that they got, which should accidentally be better than last year. If they get less than 7 wins, Bears fans should revolt.
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, look I don't expect this to come out the gate blazing. I expect an adjustment period, but by the time they come out of the bye week, that should be a solid, good, really good football team, reminiscent at worst of the Lions team that when you first start to get that success, that a team in the second half of the season that no one to play, that should be the Bears this year at minimum.
I thought Chicago was going to win 7 or 8 games last year, especially after they started 4-2.
Coaching, man, that and look, if you look at Washington, look at Chicago, which not just because of the Hail Mary play, but if you look at the offensive lines in particular, some people don't like PFF grades. I know Broski hates them, but talent level on the line, basically the same amount of talent on offensive linemen. But the coaching in Washington was far superior, and they got so much more out of that. So much more out of their lines. You can't go through, have 3 OCs and 2 head coaches and expect to be a good team. You just can't. And the fact that Caleb still ends up 5th all time on the Bears passing yard.
4,000-yard passer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And Caleb throws 3,500 yards last year, which is 5th all time in Chicago. Swift still runs for 950 behind the worst offensive line in the league. I mean, you still get some good, decent individual performance like that makes you go, like I said earlier, if they fix that, look out. This team could be something. If they fix that, that's the question. Did they fix that? And that's when we have to see.
Right.
Hey, you know what, Ken? You guys got a good staff here, too. You guys have at running backs coach Eric Bieniemy. I mean, my gosh. I mean, he's been around, and then you have Ken Norton's kid in here too, I believe. Yeah.
And you got Allen. You got
Bill Johnson too.
Yeah.
Bill
They did
Johnson
good. They put good coaches around them. So that's what I'm saying on paper. But I don't want to buy into the Kool-Aid, because last year we got a little burned because it did look, the roster looked great, and then they had injuries right before the season. The offensive line we thought we were going to have, we never did have, and it was a nightmare. And so I don't want to get too much into that Kool-Aid. I'm going to be a little more pessimistic coming into this year, and I'm going to have more of a wait and see. But I think when it comes to this division this year, split the quarter. Who's going to win it? Who's going to lose it? And when it comes to the Bears, it's those. Every team has questions. If the Bears can answer theirs, 8 to 10 wins is definitely feasible. And the basement in this division could be 8 wins or 9 wins, easily.
Yep, and Al Harris is a coach too.
Yeah.
Yes, Matthew Stafford, Matt Hasselbeck's favorite quarterback, wide receiver, Al Harris. We want the ball and we're going to score. Interception.
So, I'm looking forward to this. And going back to the Browns, I know that's where we started this. Stefanski, man, you know what? I would hope, I like, what's his name down there in Miami? The other McDaniel. Yeah,
Poindexter, yes.
I love his press conferences. I love the dude. But in a way, if him and Stefanski get fired, I could see them just switching jobs.
Well, either switching jobs or they're going to be an offensive coordinator somewhere. You know what I mean? Because, they're good offensive minds.
Usually, unless they're absolutely phenomenal when they came into where they're at. And let's face it, I think Mike McDaniels has done a good job with what he has there, but he hasn't done enough.
Right.
He hasn't done to satisfy ownership. That's
and I think the GM has hampered Kevin Stefanski.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you a good one here. Years ago, they said Cordell Stewart was going to make Bill Cowher's career. Well, guess what? Tua's going to make Mike McDaniel's career. Okay, because Tua's hurt every year. You
may be hurt every year, but
that hits my wagon too.
Here's the thing I got to say about Tua, and you can't knock it. He has been either number 1 to number 5 every year in completion percentage, regardless of the amount of games played.
But you know what the problem is, JB? When the game is on the line, you can always count on an interception by him.
Not only that, if it's a cold weather game, anything less than 40 degrees, they're losing.
He's an interceptiverdi.
He's small and he's not great at anything, and he's one more bad hit away from speaking applesauce.
Yes, he is.
He's left-handed Dak. He's not great at anything. And don't tell me about completion percentage, because you know what? Sam Bradford once held the NFL single-season record for completion percentage. So I don't want to hear it.
That's been beat more times than a redheaded stepchild.
God, Sam Bradford. Geez,
which further proves it means nothing. And fuck you, Sam Bradford, for staying in college an extra year because he didn't want to be a Lion. Because you know what? Didn't want you anyways.
Wow.
Didn't we draft Stafford the next year?
No, we drafted him the year before because Sam Bradford went back to school instead of coming out that year.
Oh, so that year.
Yep.
No, wait.
Yes.
Somebody look it up.
No, trust me. It's right. Sam Bradford was drafted the year after or 2 years after Matt
Sam
Stafford.
Bradford was 2010. Stafford was 09.
So yeah, so the next year.
That's what I said.
You know what, Ralph? I want this for Ralph. I hope that your prediction on the Steelers holds true, and the coach, who I will not name, leaves after 20 years, and Stefanski can hold on for this year, next year, and they fire him, and then he goes to the Steelers and also wins the Super Bowl.
That could happen.
I mean,
it really could happen. You know, I'd like to see T.J. Watt get a Super Bowl, but I don't think he's going to get one with Mike Tomlin. I'd like to see Cam Hayward get a ring. It's not going to happen with Mike Tomlin. I'll tell you what. Like George Zimmer said at the Men's Warehouse, I guarantee it.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee
I guarantee it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to start with Ralph. Go ahead and announce your channel and tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook. I'm on Twitch, Twitter X, and I'm also on the Kick Network. And also I'm on Tumblr and LinkedIn. And also I have 2 radio shows on Saturday on 12:50 a.m. The Answer in Pittsburgh. You can listen online at 12:50 The Answer, pgh.com. And I also have over 2,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I'd like to get 3,000 by the end of the year, but we'll see what happens. And my Twitter page is starting to pop a little bit as well. So, and thank you. Follow and subscribe.
All right. I'm going to let Ken talk about his show that comes on usually preceding mine every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, because JB and I are on the same network, but you can get me at Ken the Bear Fan on X, where you can watch all of the shows I'm on and all the shows JB is on, because we're on the same network. It's wonderful how that works. Every morning at Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central to 11 a.m. Ken and Ken with JB right after. Then Wednesday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right before this show, go figure, Hallis Hall. And then Hallis Hall Sundays, your pregame destination, starting at 11 a.m. Central, right before kickoff at noon Central. And you can get that on Ken the Bear Fan on X, also Ken the Bear Fan on YouTube. Plus, you can go to the Huddle Sports on YouTube, Facebook, the Huddle Sports app on Roku and Fire TV. Of course, on JB's Knee Biting, well, he'll give you the proper Knee Biting name of the YouTube channel, because JB and I are pretty much on the same, so much on the same channels that I'm starting to wonder if he's living in my guest room. But he can if he wants to, if I ever had it.
Or he's in mine when it's in summertime, because he won't come up here in the middle of winter.
No. So definitely go give a like and subscribe on all those. The X account right now is I was climbing up to that 9K mark, going to make that march back. It's mostly all sports podcasts now. And also you can find JB and I every so often with the To the Top guys. Driving to the top guys. There we go. I brain farted. Driving to the Top guys. A lot of their stuff is on our pages. And you can find JB and I. They're usually on Tuesday nights for their open mic. Where next week, and I'll give a preview so you can come watch JB and I and Jamie missed last night. So next week, we're going to start previewing divisions, and we're starting with the AFC North. So we're going to have some fun there. So you can catch JB and I getting all kinds of trouble across the platforms of podcast infamy. There we go.
Well, if you need me to come on, I'm not hard to find. And if I can do it, I'll be on. But yeah,
anytime, brother.
All right, Dom, go ahead and shout yourself out.
Let me see.
The
Gauntlet is finally coming back. Probably 2 weeks from now on YouTube, Facebook, all that. Sideline Sports. That's about it. my Facebook page. You can find me ranting and raving about a number of things. Dom DeRubis, Facebook. I pop in on JB shows when I can because we've been doing this for how many years?
4th year.
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah, 5th year. Season
5th year
5,
for
episode
Sideline,
1
right?
of the Gauntlet. 2 weeks from now. Yeah, that's it.
All right. And last but not least, Austin and Megan, before we let Jamie take over before I end the show, talk about your new channel that you got coming up.
I got a YouTube channel trying to get off the ground. It's called Hacked In Fantasy Sports Talk. Planning on having one of my JB shows, streaming that live on my channel as well to gain some traction. Mainly just I'm going to talk about football, NFL news, fantasy, all that fun stuff. So yeah, excited to get it going.
All right. And Jamie Malloy, beat writer for the Stadium Rant and Fortball.com. Go ahead. Tell all your credentials.
As well. Thank you very much, Jeremy. So you guys can follow me, yours truly, at Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat. And also at Jamie Malloy, the Unbiased Journalist, at DJ Dog Tags on X, the Fortball.com and StadiumRant.com, where I write about all sports. Then you can catch me Tuesday nights right now at 9:00 p.m. where Ken and all the other guys at Drive to the Top Productions do Open Sports Night. And if you want to see a recap of probably one of the most R-rated rants that I've ever went on last night, you can catch that on YouTube. So it was epic, and so yeah.
Hey Jamie, can I say this real quick? If you ever talk to Jamie, let me say one thing you don't tell him: that you're a Bill Belichick fan, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
However good of a R-rated Bills rant you have, I've got a better one, my boy Brad.
Okay. Anyway, and then you can catch Joe Dalio and I the hour before at 8:00 when we start season 3 premiere of the Buffalo Sports Conversation room on Tuesday, July 26th at Drive to the Top Productions. And then you can follow me here as a guest, regular guest now on Huddle Sports Network on the NFL Roundtable Talks 11 or Wednesday night, 9:00 p.m. And then starting on Thursdays next year, we'll be doing season 3 of the UFL with Jeremy, Adam, Marcus, and some of the guys back at Drive to the Top Productions. So thank you guys very much for listening tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, ring the bell for notifications. You can catch all of our episodes on Drive to the Top Productions. You can catch all of our episodes on Roku TV, Apple Fire Stick TV, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your podcasts. You can take your pick there. And I'm JB Malloy. Thank you very much for listening. And this has been another episode of NFL Roundtable Talks here on Huddle Sports Network. See you next Wednesday, folks. Good night.
All right. And you can always find me on the Huddle Sports Network, the Huddle Sports app. You can also find me on Ken the Bear Fan. You can find me on Rob Haspel's Twitter as well. You can also find me on my channel on the Facebook page and on YouTube, which is Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions, where we talk, 9-10 times a week on my channel. And starting on week 1 on Saturdays, Austin Hacker and I are going to have our own fantasy football show.
Yeah.
So tune into that. We're going to be going over the top 5 ADP at each skilled position every week as it finishes throughout the whole season.
And Megan's going to beat them both in the season. I'm calling it right now.
She might in the one league. She hasn't yet in the other.
I'm just saying, Megan's going to win. That's the way. Look, it always works that way. Husband and wife are in a fantasy league. The wife always wins. I'm just saying.
I know I'm going against him in the other league too, so I'm like,
do the wives always win?
Because
I don't know who won
I've
last
been in
year.
fantasy leagues with women 10 times, and 11 times the girl never won, unless her boyfriend or husband was in the league.
Hey, well, there you go. Hey, you ready for this one? Hey, Austin, remember this saying: "Happy wife, happy life." And the reason those guys and the reason why in those other leagues, why the boyfriend or the husband always lost, because they got the memo.
Got it. Well, I didn't get the memo.
No, you did not.
Because I won.
I'll get the memo.
I won it the 1 year with Kyle Orton and Brandon Lloyd.
Oh, there you go.
And I was in jail for 2 months.
But as always, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody who came in and was a guest and everybody in the chat. We got 65 people watching after an hour, which is amazing. The only show that we've done on this show that's had more viewers was the AFC North and NFC North review when we had a full house and we were at 180 viewers 2 hours in. And that's amazing. That was live, people. So thank you again, and tune in next week when we do this. And if you're a Lions fan, tune in Friday night, 9 p.m. as we do the Lions Fan Cave chat, where you'll see almost all Lions fans and the occasional guys from Huddle Up Sports that pop in that want to get beat up with this trash talking.
And remember,
have a great night. Spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah, or as Tom said, as Tom once said on accident for the very first time on my show, he said, "Stay nude to your pets," and that was the best line ever. Have a great night, everybody.
Yeah, yo, it's game time. Ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports. Just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken. Stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.